belongs to the Union. Wait, where is everybody? Who? The white folks that was here? Oh, they left. What do you mean they left? There's no Confederate soldiers here to defend this island? No, no soldiers, no nothing. All the white folks that was here, they picked up all their shit and they just dipped. What? Those punk ass bitches? And they just left all you slaves here behind? And they didn't even tell us they was leaving. It's like, we not upset they gone, cause fuck them, you know, they was real evil and everything, but you at least tell somebody you leaving, you know, leave a note or something. Oh, that's fucked up, man. You gotta at least leave a note. But wait, would you guys even be able to read that note? No, not really, but it's just a common courtesy, you know? Well, how about you and your friends grow cotton and other crops for us, and we'll pay you like, you know, $1 for every 400 pounds you bring in. Okay, that sounds cool. So when you say you're gonna pay us $1 for every 400 pounds of cotton, like what are you talking about? Like what, $1? What the fuck is that? We'll pay you money for the cotton. You can use that money to buy stuff. You can even use it to buy this land if you wanted to. You can use the money to buy the land? Get the fuck out of here. Since when have they been doing that shit? So I got these contrabands down there. And look, they're growing crops. They're working hard and everything. But they need education. You know, I can't teach them all. Okay, I know you're referring to these formerly enslaved people working the lands down there off the coast of South Carolina, but you called them contrabands. Like, what do you mean by that? Oh, contrabands. That's like my term for them. It's like they're contrabands of war. It's like I won them because I fought off the Confederate bitches that were there. You know, there's other words I could call them, but I don't want to get into all that, so I just call them contrabands. Whatever. Look, this is an interesting experiment. President Lincoln is very interested in this. And I think I can get some teachers from up north, you know, some abolitionists to come down there and help educate these people. Okay, so on this chalkboard behind me, we're going to talk about how to spell different words. And we're going to start with the word clothes. Ooh, I know what that word means. It means the clothes we wearing, like the clothes we got on our back. So no, that's actually a different word. We're talking about the word close spelled C-L-O-S-E, which means to like close a door. Like if a door were to be ajar, like opened, and you closed it, then that would be like close a door. That's the close we're talking about. So there's close and then there's close. So basically it's the same word, it just has two different meanings? No, not quite. See, that's a different word entirely. The word you're talking about to refer to clothes that we wear is spelled differently. That's actually spelled C-L-O-T-H-E-S. But wait a minute, you said yesterday that the T makes a T sound. So if you spell it like that, wouldn't it be plateaus? Well, no, because the T is silent. You don't actually pronounce it when you pronounce the word. What the fuck, silent letters? Why do you have silent letters? Because this is a really fucking stupid language. Just work with me here, guys. Mr. President, I just want to tell you about the success that we've had during the Port Royal experiment. This experiment has allowed Black Americans who were formerly enslaved to become self-sufficient. We've educated them greatly, and now they have control over most of the islands near Port Royal. They grow their own crops, run their own businesses, and they own most of the land near Port Royal. This could be a great model for what Reconstruction could look like in America. Whoa, I got to stop you right there. Now, this project you're referring to was under my predecessor, and I didn't agree with him on a lot of shit. So what is this I hear about black people owning land near South Carolina? I mean, who owned the land before them? Well, that land once belonged to the traders, the rebels. All the plantation owners abandoned that land when the Union invaded, so we took that land and gave it to the formerly enslaved people. Now, that doesn't sound very fair. And since the war is over with, I think we gotta take that land away from the black people and give it back to its rightful owners, the plantation owners and the former slave owners. But wait a minute, that's not right. These black people have been working this land for years now, and they've been controlling their own societies there. You want them to just give all that up now? They'll be all right. Look, these black people are not going to achieve true freedom through land ownership. They're going to achieve true freedom through voting rights. But are you personally going to support black voting rights? Who, me? Oh, no. I don't support any of that shit. But people in Congress will, and I will fight them tooth and nail because I am the worst president in the history of the United States. I mean, somebody's got to be the bad guy, right?
Imagine, if you will, not that President Lincoln was some great president, but if Andrew Johnson had never become president and the reconstitution of the South back into the North, into the Union, would have went this way. Imagine, if you will, if Jim Crow laws would have become outdated and black societies would have been allowed to thrive in this country. The fact of the matter is that America would have become a much greater country than it is today if those people would have been left alone, if those people would have been able to build their own communities and be able to actually participate in the so-called American dream. that this country would be much further ahead today than it already is, simply because you allow for the contribution of all of its people. There's no telling what other types of inventions would have came out. There's no telling what the wealth of America would look like. There's no telling how the racial relationships would have gotten better at a much quicker rate if these things had not happened. But we know that they did. And this is the history that we have. But unfortunately, this history is not talked about. This history is not deemed appropriate because it may make some people feel bad about what their ancestors did, while we're supposed to just accept what happened to our ancestors. But the bigger point that I wanted to stress here, for those who have continued to listen, is the fact that he said that through voting rights, that is how we will be able to participate in the American experiment. And black people are still running around thinking that voting is the way for them to be able to achieve power in this country, to achieve equality in this country. When it is very clear that the way that you achieve power, economic power, political power in this country is first through the ownership of land. The ownership of land is the one thing that will increase the visibility and the equality of any group of people in the Americas, or any country for that matter. So based on understanding that little known black history, many people are going to be like, ooh, that's so messed up. That was messed up. Can't believe they did that. That's the evil white people. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, get all your emotional stuff out. But after you finish with your emotions, take the 5-year, 10-year that it takes in order for you to save up the down payment to buy the home to which you live in, or to buy a home and then build a house on it, buy land. That's the way to get to prosperity. That's the way to create generational wealth, is buying land, buying homes, buying property, buying commercial real estate. That's how you move the needle. You can vote all day, but you're not voting for those people. You're not voting for anyone that actually has your best interest at heart. But when you own the land, you can control your local government, and you can then control your state government, and then you can control your federal government. So with all these other get-rich-quick schemes that people are trying to no, buy the land. Read the book, The Richest Man in Babylon. The Richest Man in Babylon, one of the keys to wealth and one of the keys to generational wealth is to buy the land to which you live on. Make your home an investment. If you're not doing that, if you're not creating wealth, then you're not moving towards equality. You can go vote all you want to. And I'm not against voting. But if you don't own the land, your vote really ain't worth much. So y'all have a great day. And remember always, you got to free yourself to be yourself, because your greatness is non-negotiable. Good journey, good vibrations.